Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Anton, and today's episode is brought to you by Russ, who's requested that we check out the song Hold On by Good Charlotte. So sit back, relax, and let's get straight into it.
He was 17 years old.
Wow.
He was our friend. He was our little baby, even though he was 17 years old.
When she died, she was only 15.
Name was
My
Aaron,
cousin, 18.
and she was 19.
Sam.
He couldn't live with what he had done, so he took his own life.
We wish they were here still, that they were with us.
Because I know what it's like to be a survivor. I know what it's like to be left behind.
This world is gone. But you don't have to go. You feel inside, you're feeling lonely, and no one seems to care. Your mother's gone and your father hits you. This pain you cannot bear.
He has a very emotional voice. I like that.
The same way as you do. And we all have the same things to go through. Hold on if you feel like letting go.
This is so 2000s, man. Like an American Pie soundtrack or something, but more emotional.
You can't sleep at all. Hold on. You're not sure what you're waiting for, but you don't want to know more. You're not sure what you're looking for, but you don't want to know more. But we all bleed the same way as you do. And we all have the same things to go through. Hold on if you feel like letting go. Hold on, it gets better than you know. Don't stop looking, you're one step closer. Don't stop searching, it's not over. Hold on.
Ooh, I like that note right there. Bridge time.
He committed suicide. He shot himself in the head.
I lost my boyfriend to suicide. He was 26 years old. I don't think I would have ever seen it coming.
I think I know that he's listening. And if he is, I just want him to know I love him.
It's not the right order of things. You're not supposed to bury your children. They're supposed to bury you.
The last thing he said to me was, have a fun time with Grandma, Mom, and I'll see you on Monday. And I'll be waiting for Monday the rest of my life.
What are you looking for? What are you waiting for? Do you know what you're doing to me? Go ahead. What are you waiting for? Hold on if you feel like letting go. Hold on, it gets better than you know. Don't stop looking, you're one step closer. Don't stop searching, it's not over. Hold on if you feel like letting go. Hold on, it gets better than you know. Hold on.
I love that note.
I always wonder what I would be like if my father were still alive.
Hang
Oh,
on,
shit.
'cause Everybody goes through it.
I've tried to hurt myself, but I'm glad I'm still here.
There's always a way out, always. I can imagine not being here now.
It's okay to get help. you're gonna miss out on so much.
Wow. The one that really hit me out of all those is like obviously like, you know, like my cousin Sam committed suicide when he was 18. But the one, I don't know why, I even though I have no experience in this, the one that hit me the hardest was that kid whose dad committed suicide. Actually, I think I think I know why that actually hits me. Like, it just occurred to me as like, duh. But yeah, because I never had a relationship with my father, I think that even though my dad didn't commit suicide, I can relate to that kid in a sense, because I can relate to what it feels like to not have a dad, like not have that father figure that, you know, is supposed to, I don't even know, like, you know, even just like love you, like take care of you, and like want something to do with you. You know what I mean? Like, I never had that experience of like your dad going, hey, let's throw the ball around. Hey, you know, let's see a movie. Like I didn't even have the experience of my dad ever wanting to spend time with me, right? And so when I see that kid, it made me emotional, because I'm like, man, like, yeah, that kid will always kind of have the ghost of like not only having a dad who, like, not having the experience. Hopefully he ends up getting like a, you know, a stepdad or something, but like, yeah, that's rough. Just like your biological father, like the person who kind of like you're part of. And I know you can have a relationship with a stepfather that can be like a father or a mentor or an uncle or a grandfather. I know that's possible, but I don't know. I think there's something kind of like part of us that like we do. I think we all like want a dad. Well, you know, why do orphans, like, so much of an orphan's life is about trying to find their father or their mother. And so much of an orphan's life is trying to figure out why someone could give up on them. Again, like, you know, I can kind of relate to that too. Was I given up on? No, my dad was always in my life, but like, he wasn't emotionally in my life. He didn't even, you know, value me as a human being. So I can understand what it feels like to have that wonder, like as a child, of like, you know, what's wrong with me? You know, what, like, how come this person brought me into the world who supposedly loves me and cares about me because of all the things they do out of duty, but how come that person doesn't like see who you are? You know what I mean? And then there's the added pressure of that kid of like, you know, knowing his father killed himself. And like that kid might for the rest of his life ask like, you know, does that mean something about me? If my father was, you know, whatever thing he says, you know, because, you know, there's a lot of reasons why you can tell yourself why someone killed himself. Maybe he might ask, you know, was my dad too weak? Was my dad not able to deal with the world? Was there something else going on? Mental health issues? Was my dad, I don't know, like, did he have a disorder? All of these things. And like, you know, there might be that element, like, because I could see like bullies in school prey on that. Like, you know, your dad was too weak to stick around. Like, you know, you're just like him. You know what I mean? Or like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, kids can be so brutal sometimes. And it's like, I could see, especially because that kid comes across very sensitive to me. Yeah, I could just see the questions. You know what I mean? Like, that kid might have some questions of like, yeah, he never gets to kind of ask his father who he is. Not only who he is, but who's his dad. Because I think a lot of the time you kind of learn something about who you are by who your parents are. You know, just being able to talk to your father, your grandfather, and be like, that's something I'm kind of realizing right now in my life, is like, I was never interested in my family or my grandparents or my parents. And I'm starting to get to that age, I think, that people get to in like their 30s and 40s, where they start asking questions of like, where did I come from? You know, I'm here in 2022, but, you know, I'm a product of all these generations of people. You know what I mean? I'm a product of my parents. I'm a product of their parents. I'm a product of their parents. I'm a product of some civilization in Europe or in Scandinavia, or like me, I'm Polish and English. So it's like, you know, there's part of me that like, there's a part of me that is the momentum and continuation of the people that brought me into the world, that created the people, that created the people, that created the people, that created the people, that created the people that brought me into the world. You know what I mean? There's a certain level of momentum that comes with that. And it's like, sometimes, perhaps, you know, when you're a kid and, you know, your father kills himself, like, you don't get to ever ask your father what it was like growing up. You never get to ask your dad, you know, that person that, like, you're part of, that, like, you have their genetics, like, you have their eyebrows, you have their eyes, you have their a bit of their personality, you have their fire, you have their sensitivity, you have their creativity, you have their, you know what I mean? Like, you know, especially also, like, you never get to ask your dad, like, you know, you never get to the opportunity, the possibility of your dad going, oh wow, you're kind of continuing in my footsteps. Like, oh, you want to get into carpentry? Oh, like, you know, yeah, I'm a carpenter. You know what I mean? You never get to, like, see those connections play out as you, yeah, like, you know, grow. And yeah, I know that would be kind of like putting myself in that kid's shoes. It's like, that might be tough. Yeah, or, you know, even the question of, was I not good enough of a son to give my dad a reason to stick around? Like, I think that'd be a big thing too. You know what I mean? It's like, my dad couldn't stick around for me. Like, I wasn't a good enough reason to exist for. You know what I mean? My dad didn't love me enough to, yeah, stick around. My dad didn't love me enough to stick around. Like, yeah, that's rough. Again, that sticks with the orphans. A mentor of mine, Frederick, he was an orphan, and he was adopted, and so it's like, I remember, you know, that it just, yeah, the kind of endless void that kind of creates in you. Of like, yeah, how did someone give up on me? You know? Like, yeah, that's crazy. That's wow, man. But yeah, I think I'm looking at the lyrics right here. I think I pretty much said everything that I need to say about this one, because this is, you know, this is one of the songs that's about, like, keep moving forward, keep going. There's a light at the end of the tunnel if you just hold on. If you feel like letting go, hold on. It gets better. It gets better than you know. Hold on. Yeah, I think songs like this are so important. I feel like these kind of songs are. I think, like, looking back, like, where I am now, I don't see them as important as I used to. Like, you know, when I was a kid, like, I needed songs like this to get me through those rough times, to make me feel like I'm not alone. And even in a sense, I still rely on stuff like this every once in a while. Like, let's say, you know, I've really been paying attention to what I need when I'm in certain emotional states. Like, if I'm feeling really insecure, or if I'm feeling abandoned, or if I'm feeling whatever the emotion is, you know, it's actually a psychological thing. Like, it's, I forget what's called deference. But there's a psychological idea that you need to interact with something, someone, or a song that is resonating where you're resonating. So if you're happy and you listen to a sad song, depending on your emotional ability to just let things flow. But sometimes if you're happy and you're listening to a sad song, the sad song can, like, bring you down, because it's kind of like, yeah, it can bring you down. But what I do notice, and this is a psychological phenomenon, it's actually true, is that if you're sad, the best thing to listen to actually improve your mood and to deal with these traumas is other sad music. There's something, it's like they cancel each other out. It's like, you know, like, for me, my go-tos when I'm in a rough place is like Tori Amos and Sarah McLachlan. Who else? There's some artists I always go to. Savage Garden, Darren Hayes. I always go as Darren when I'm in a rough place, because it, like, it makes me feel so understood and, like, held in that moment. And then when I feel accepted and understood, I can rise through it. I can evolve through it, deal with the trauma, deal with the pain, deal with the emotion, and I can let it go. But you know, the worst thing to do is like when you're in a rough place, try to listen to happy music. And like, you're just like, or someone being like, oh, just listen to this happy song and get through it. It's like, that's the worst thing ever. Because like, you don't feel validated and seen, which I think you need, or you don't need to, but it's super helpful for 99% of people that aren't enlightened. But it's super valuable for you to feel seen and validated. That's so much just for someone to listen. And when you're listening to a song, you essentially, that person is like listening to you. You know what I mean? But it's so important. Stuff like this, like, it saves people. Because it ends up being the friend that can listen to all of your deepest, darkest secrets that no one else can handle. Or rather, that you feel like no one else can handle. Because there are people in the world that can handle whatever you're going through. But first of all, you might not have the friends. Maybe your friends are just, they're not that deep. It's not even that they're not that deep. Your friends maybe haven't been through what you're going through, so they can't relate to you and they can't hold space for you. Because I think in some sense you can only hold space for things that you've experienced, for things that you understand. Because if you don't, a lot of people are just too uncomfortable. Some people are afraid, they don't want to get sucked into it. There's a lot of reasons why a lot of people can't hold space, but I think it's important to find people in your life that can sit with you with whatever you're feeling through. But anyway, this was Hold On by Good Charlotte. Overall, fantastic song. I love, I forget what the lead singer's name is, but he has an incredible ability to channel feeling. Joel Madden. Joel has an incredibly emotional tone to his voice, and I think he's like a Chester Bennington, a 3 Days Grace. He's, Brent Smith. He's just able to, like every time he opens his mouth, like I feel like, he gets it. He intimately understands the thing that he's feeling in this song. But yeah, this was great. So thank you, Russ. And what are your favorite Good Charlotte songs? Let me know down below. And also, I'll click right here because I'm gonna create like a playlist of like 2000s rock stuff right here. So click right here and go on the 2000s rock journey. And that's it. So see all of you in the next one. I love you. Bye.